Va salute. This is Troy Pacelli of Last Call, and I'm just here to let you know that the following live stream is rated R for adult language, highly inappropriate jokes, and oh, who the are we kidding? We have no idea what is going to come out of Gorilla's mouth. Viewer discretion is advised.
Gorilla kicks it off with a verbal grenade. No filter, no brakes, just truth unafraid. Docs who needs him, he's shooting straight. Dropping hot takes at a rapid rate. Mikey rolls in with a file so thick. Knows your features, origin, and the politics. History buff with a dev sixth sense. Quoting Jara like it's self-defense. It's Friday, we're bruised but alive. Barely sane, but we still survive. Push that merge, don't ask how. The Waltons own this circus now. BVP with a smile and a sucker punch. Slides in jokes with a logic crunch. Last mid-Lavui, chaos contained. That last line of code, you're getting flamed. Then there's Germ with the side-eye glare. Cynical takes float in the air. Nice commit, he lies with his teeth. For suggesting a rewrite underneath. It's Friday, we're bruised but alive. Very sane, but we still survive. Push that merge, don't ask how. The Waltons own this circus now. So here's to bugs, to banter and brawls, to teammate to roast while catching your falls. Same time next week, yeah, we'll be back. Shipping dreams on a caffeine track.
The hell was that?
And hello. That was the same song we usually play, except a different. I played the other one instead of the usual one. But I'm gonna have a different song next weekday since Mikey's no longer with us and stuff. And I'm gonna correct some spelling errors in it. But welcome everybody to another Waltons review, where we are reviewing season 5, episode 22, The Hiding Place. Now, I'm gonna start off with you guys to ponder this here. Do you think John Boy was out of line when we get to that scene? I want your idea answers to that. But this is one of those episodes that it makes you look at Bill. You can tell that people are getting nervous at what's going on in Europe. And at this point, I think it was 80% of America was isolationists at this time, going, it's their fucking problem. They fucking deal with it. But everybody kind of seeing. It's like you can see the wildfire over the horizon, but you see the glow of the wildfire over the horizon, but you don't see the flames yet. If that's a good analogy or not, I don't know. But
well, there's a good line in this episode about embers, floating embers or something.
Yeah, we'll get to that there.
Well, the U.S. was already given enough in supplies and actual manpower at the time.
Not yet. Britain wasn't officially at war yet. They just we're right past. We're before Poland, but after Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, what month is this? We're not.
I don't think
we getting close? Are we getting close to the actual start of the war then, or are we a ways off still? Because I've lost track. What year are we in right now? Are we in 38 or
we're after 37?
Oh shit, we're a ways off.
We should be very close to 38.
Yeah, I think we are at.
Yeah, I don't think the Allied countries, I don't think any of them declared until 39 was when it started for real, didn't it?
September 1st or 3rd is when Germany invaded Poland with Russia. No, wait, the Soviet Union. Like I'm supposed to distinct the Soviet Union.
Yeah, well, I remember not every country.
Okay, so we are in March of 1939. No, that can't be right. The episode "The Hiding Place" for the Waltons takes place in March of 1939. That doesn't seem right. This is inferred from the context of the episode, which centers on the rising tensions in Europe due to Nazi Germany's actions, including the annexation of Austria in March of 1938 and the increased threat of war. The episode's there. I swear they have invaded. Oh, wait. Poland was invaded in September of 39. Okay, so this makes sense.
So we're 1939 now?
March of 1939. March of 39.
Did they jump ahead then? Because I didn't think we were in 1939.
Yes. They skip the whole thing of the Waltons takes place between 1934, was it, to 1965.
But weren't we still like a year or two away in the last episode? If they even mentioned it, I don't know.
No, they didn't. They didn't mention it in the last episode.
Seems like we skipped ahead quite rapidly, though, because I don't remember any mention of 1939. And
we're skipping ahead months at a time. We're skipping ahead at months at a time.
Okay, well, that makes more sense.
Then the stories aren't coming in here.
Let's say. Okay, yeah, that too. And welcome, FKHC 2005. Welcome, goes. Hell, here comes the joke. Will it be dirty? Let's find out. And in this week's episode of The Waltons, Grandpa Walton plays hide the pickle. Well, you better be careful where he hides it there. You might get put on a list. And we are in 2026 PvP.
I'm talking about the Waltons, though, not reality now. Good one, though. Good one.
So let's go ahead with with our prologue. Although the years of my boyhood and the youth of Waltons Mountain were a time of uncertainty and depression for millions, somehow in our home we were sustained by a sense of being safe and secure. And then a visitor came into our world, and though she tried to close the door against the storm that was sweeping across Europe, the force of it was felt even on Waltons Mountain. All right. I gotta move this room real quick. All right. So, I have no captions here. Because Look Movie doesn't know how to do it, and I can't log on to Amazon here. So anyhow, they get invited to a reception there, and Grandpa jokes with her, goes, "I've never seen you so eager to get to the Baldwins there." She goes, "We were invited to a reception, and we wait, I got the transcript right here. Oh yeah. Oh wait, he says, "I'm surprised at you, Libby. Never seen you such a rush to get over to the Baldwin ladies before. We've been invited to a reception. We ought to be there on time." She almost like I might have said that more of a Corbeth tone, though. But she tells them to hurry up. Then they're all excited. Like, well, this is back when we actually respected Europe, though. Too, everybody's excited to be the European. Well, maybe this is back when we still respected Europe.
Well, I guess back then Europe was kind of hoity-toity compared to America. At least a lot of people thought they were more sophisticated or whatnot.
Yeah, but
people probably did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
no,
they didn't think they were better than us when we kept having to send um, weapons and supplies over to them and food. They were so
Well, yeah,
high, hoity and toity there.
if it hadn't been for, well, I mean, Canada played a role too, because I remember even though you were a pacifist, you were producing weapons and shipping them north up here, and then we could ship them off to Britain, right? So it was kind of like you weren't officially getting involved, but you sent us supplies and weaponry to send over to the Brits. So you were kind of in effect, in action, but you just weren't official yet.
yeah, the pacifism was entirely on paper.
Well, you didn't really get
Yeah.
fired up until Pearl Harbor happened, though, right? That's when everybody changed their mind.
Well, I'm still not convinced that FDR didn't purposely get us dragged into that war. He just didn't
Yeah, he
have the
worked hard
support
to
of the
arrange that.
American people. What? Yeah.
He worked very hard to arrange our involvement in the Second World War. So
Yeah,
what it
'cause
cost
there's,
a
like-
lot of American lives. He didn't care.
Well, the thing is, like, someone drafted the thing and said, like, the 8 points that to get Japan to declare war on us, and somehow we nailed every. There was like 8 points things not to do to not get Japan to declare war, so some kind of like memo, and so miraculously we managed to hit all 8 points, and Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. The biggest one was the oil. So we got Elizabeth here making a mess, and they're talking about confetti. And Jason had some pretty beautiful music playing. They're all listening. I couldn't tell if the music was bothering her or she was enjoying it, because you keep seeing like this look into they don't show flashbacks, which I can understand from a budget perspective, but but they did include a bunch of different noises whenever they stayed on her for long periods of time.
Well, I think since it was probably music written by German composers, it was giving her unhappy thoughts of the fatherland when they focused on her like this. And John Boy mentioned some of that later.
Yeah, they say lovey, and people are asking her like different questions that. Curtis says, so Curtis, I love Curtis here. Grandpa says, Grandpa asked for respect the recipe, but I thought the recipe was clear. But in this episode here, it shows it's brown. I thought the recipe was clear.
That's why Grandpa's there. I know, because he keeps asking for another refill. It's pretty hilarious, actually.
Yeah, but then Curtis says, here, I'll take a little bit of that for medicinal purposes. Of course. Wait, that was play.
Yeah, Grandpa don't care about medicinal purposes. I think he ends up on his third one by the time this scene's over.
Hey, he promised Olivia that he would behave himself.
Dr. Willard?
Well, I do hate to see a man drink alone. Purely medicinal.
Yeah, the recipe has always been brown like that. It starts off clear, then when it's aged into barrels, it takes on the hue of the wood.
Okay, they put it in barrels. Okay, I thought they kept it. They put it in the mason jars right away.
Well, a lot of
but I love how they look. Yeah, no, but I've always just seen it in glass. I've never seen it in barrels. I've always seen it in jars.
Well, we got something new in this episode then, I guess.
Yeah, but anyhow, I love how Dr. Willard here just looks at Marielle and goes, for medicinal purposes, of course. Yeah. So they're talking and all that. And John Boy starts asking her political questions. I can't remember what exactly the shoot, I lost my place. Oh, you talk about how she's a shit or her father was a diplomat in the thing there, and Jeb Boy just asking her questions about that. Oh, they made a joke about Hitler shaving his mustache and all that, and how it was quite ludicrous. They're making jokes about that, and then they're saying he looked more like a media and then a revolutionary. And go. Then Ben asked her how she felt about the Nazis, and she kind of gave the non-answer. There's how no, she doesn't have an opinion and all that. She's not qualified to answer and stuff. And John Boy kind of things there, kind of insists, but he goes, but she kind of brushes it off. But okay, so they go
That was
on.
very rude of John Boy.
Yeah, well, I keep pushing her, but part of me wonders if the reason why, because we see this throughout the episode, she'll kind of dodge the questions or she'll dodge John Boy completely. There, I wonder if she was worried that if she would start talking bad about Germany there and somehow get back the the SS there, they go after her. They'd finally have the excuse to go after her husband.
I doubt it. I don't think. I think she just didn't want to. It was just bad memories that she wanted to block out. Besides, we find out more about her husband later on and his newspaper. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Is about
they've
he's
already
probably
done.
been arrested. Actually,
They've already done plenty to her husband at this point. But I don't want to go into details.
no, but
here.
she starts talking bad about the fatherland there in the party. That they'll give the excuse to
I
set
don't
an
think there was.
example.
I don't think there was too many SS spies hanging around on Walton's Mountain. I doubt it.
No, but all the takes is what John Boy's story getting picked up by one of the bigger newspapers, and then one of those bigger newspapers ending up in Germany.
I doubt anybody's going to care about a little, 2-bit publication that John Boy's pumping out.
Besides, her husband's already pretty much in as bad a position as he's gonna get because
he's up the creek anyway.
Yeah, he's about to have a roommate named Goldberg.
He's probably been disappeared by this point. I wouldn't be surprised.
He's not disappeared yet because they specifically mentioned that he's been demoted.
Well, we find out later his newspaper's been shut down. So when you put somebody out of business, that's getting pretty serious to their livelihood when they can't make a living.
Oh, right here. John Boy looks like he's high as fuck right now in this photo.
Maybe he had some of that.
Hey, sit there. How's it going?
Recipe.
How's it going, Dan?
A little too much of the recipe there.
Yeah, it could be. Hey, Dan.
Dan.
Yeah, well, the small town reporter definitely comes out with John Boy in this scene for sure.
Yeah, but it still doesn't mean word wouldn't get back to Germany, and all of a sudden, her husband set an example of. There we go. That's exactly what we need right there.
Her husband's already fucked.
Yeah, I don't think. I think her motive for not talking about it is just because she doesn't want to think about it. She wants to block it out of her mind because it brings back bad memories when she talks about it.
Yeah, you don't send your wife away if things aren't pretty much fucked at that point.
Yeah. So Jason goes to play some more music, blah blah blah. And it froze up on me here. There we go. And here we get back home and
socializing. Good night, you all.
Good night, Grandpa.
Jason here comes announce. Now I want you guys to remember this for when we get to, I think it's either season 7 episode 11 or season 7 episode 12. I want you to remember this conversation he has right here.
Thursday night, can I use the truck?
What for?
Well, I'm signing up for the National Guard, and they drill on Thursday night.
You're what?
I'm going into the National Guard.
You'll do nothing of the kind.
Now, just a minute. Don't get your fur up. Let's hear him out.
It's really...
I've never heard that. I haven't heard the fur up, but I've always heard don't get your panties in a bunch.
Yeah, but this is 1970s TV. They couldn't say panties in a bunch back then. I thought getting her fur up was enough. Like, Jesus, what fur is he talking about here? I'm thinking, I don't know.
Use your imagination, PvP.
Yeah, I certainly can.
Nothing, Mama. We go to the Rockfish Armory and drill one night a week, and that pays $1. I'm going to kick a couple of weeks in the summer, and they have a band, and that pays money, too.
I don't care how much they pay. If my feelings count for anything at all, you'll forget this right now.
Mama, a lot of fellows are signing up with the Guard. It's not the regular army. There's no reason he can't join if he wants to.
Nothing any of you can say is going to reconcile me to Jason or you or any of my sons signing up to be soldiers.
Now,
that line didn't work with John when he went off to France. It's not going to work on the boys.
Yeah, plus, quite personally, everybody knows the war's on the horizon there.
Except the people that are in denial. Except the people that
Olivia
don't want to see it.
Yeah, Olivia has seen this before. This is apparently, she said this is the way it was right before World War I there. But she's not gonna be able to stop the boys from signing up.
Well, she should know then that it's inevitable anyway, so it doesn't really matter what she does. It's on the horizon.
Yeah, it does. Logic from a mother.
Yeah, and I think she's remembering. She must have been closer to Ben than they've let out in the I kind of wish in the previous episodes they would show that she was really close to Ben also, so that this would make more sense because John came home, Ben didn't. Yeah, didn't there? So she's having memories of Ben not coming home, and she's picturing her son having to go over and not come back.
Yeah, I think that's.
Well, she was there when Grandma found out that Ben died.
I think that's a big part of why she's resistant to the idea. But the interesting thing, though, of course, is Paul. He doesn't have a problem with it.
Well, he is a soldier. But
yeah, exactly. And he realizes that he had to be a soldier. And he realizes if history repeats, which it often does, they're going to probably end up being soldiers anyway, no matter what they do.
Yeah. But from Zed's point of view, his father fought, he fought, his son fought. Why shouldn't his grandsons fight?
Well, if the cause is worthy enough. Well, I want you to remember this scene here for when we get to season 7, episodes 11 or 12. I can't remember which one it is, but I want you to remember. Hey, grab her! I thought you were gonna grab her.
I was until she ran away because. What? Running.
She's not running. Just grab her. What? But anyhow, John looks like John says he'll go talk to her. It doesn't Jason look like he's possessed in this picture? Yeah, the kid's trying to grab the cat, but he's afraid that she's gonna scratch her. Even though I told him how to deactivate a cat.
I can't grab her by the neck. She just constantly looking at me.
All right,
so I have no room to grab her by the neck.
All right, so and John, he didn't quite put his foot down, but I'm surprised she didn't make him sleep on the couch for this.
I think you're off base on this.
Well, she knew she was
Let's
wrong.
have it over again, just like it did before the last war. We're marching and carrying guns, and all the while everybody's saying it's nothing.
I'm going to say something you're not going to like. It's time we got prepared over here. If my boys have to fight, I want them trained.
Is that what your brother Ben died in the last war for?
No, right there. That I think that was a step too far for. There. That was a cheap shot on her part.
Well, her entire argument is a
That's a cheap
stretch,
shot.
so that's the only place she really had to go.
Yeah, John has a valid point. Because who's going to get the better training? The ones that sign up early and go to training for a couple of years, or the ones that sign up, get 2 weeks of training and shipped over?
Yeah, it's much better. Jason's got the right idea to go into the guard. And besides,
I'm going to say
bringing
something
some
you're not
cash
going
in.
to like.
Now, how much was $1.39?
Well, for 2 hours of marching, it seems like not a bad deal. I mean, he's getting an education in military life, and he's getting paid for it. So, seems like a win-win to me.
So basically, he's getting $23 at 15 cents.
Not bad for a couple hours.
Barely minimum wage.
It's time we got prepared over here. If my boys have to fight, I want them trained.
Is that what your brother Ben died in the last war for?
There's that acting with the eyes again. He's giving that idea is acting with his mouth like that was a cheap shot. Fuck you, Olivia. Fuck you, but I'm not gonna say it.
He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's basically the expression. It's pretty funny, actually. But I mean, her statement was so ridiculous. He doesn't really have to say much. He doesn't really have to come back by saying anything.
Yeah, so
she even knows it doesn't make any sense. I mean, she knows she's out on a limb on this one that she's not going to win. So,
yeah. So that said, we got the news capture on this President Roosevelt. They had President Roosevelt sounding weird on the thing there. I'm just gonna read this from the transcript here because I don't want to play too much. The epidemic of world lawlessness is spreading. When an epidemic of physical disease starts to spread, the community joins in a quarantine of the patients. In order to protect the health of the community against the spread of the disease, peace-loving nations such as ours have a responsibility to act in concert with other nations of the world community. Then Olivia says, just sounds like Woodrow Wilson for the Great War. So in other words, Roosevelt said, well, we'll be peaceful, but we're going to stock up certain countries.
Hello, Kevin, Theme Park Adventures.
Hey, Kevin, how's it going? Welcome.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is a scene that PvP was talking because Olivia says he hates war, but it seems determined to get us involved in something that doesn't concern us. Mama, he just wants us to be aware of what's going on around us. That's all. John said, when our neighbor's field is on fire, better help put it out, or not just for his sake. Then she said, sparks don't travel across 3,000 miles of ocean. Sooner or later, they do.
Yeah, sparks have a funny way of traveling quite a ways.
Then, and here's where they're talking about. Jerem was talking about his daddy fought, your daddy fought, and Grandpa said, "Well, whenever there's something around to defend, there's usually a Walton around defending it." Then she just tells him, "Your breakfast is getting cold." So they get into it about Jason Joy. And she says, "Just don't have my blessing." Then John just tells them to eat up. Alrighty. But they hear what was the point of this whole horn hockey thing? Like, was this just to show that he's making progress on the damn car, or was it just filler?
It seems like it's one of the crappiest B plots I've ever seen in this series.
Yeah, it's basically all to justify the end result. Fill time until we get you this, until we figure out the end.
Well, it is kind of a crap ass B plot too, in a really sad kind of way, because it's basically pointless filler.
Yeah, because they kept talking it. Then Chance was like, "Oh, oh, oh."
That was pretty good, girl.
What? That's exactly what it was, though.
Oh,
that's exactly
funny.
what it was.
I never thought I'd hear a gorilla mooing like a cow, but I've heard it tonight.
All right. So apparently he found a horn off old Royce or Royal Royce or whatever the fuck
Rolls Royce.
Yeah, and it's gonna go on. I can't remember his car he drives, but he found it for $8. It cost him like $8 for that horn, which I can tell you that's not no fucking $8 horn.
That's the Rolls Royce part, so it's $8.
Rolls Royce they were pretty high pricey cars back then, I would think. And Rolls Royce has still kind of got a prestigious name, even if the cars are crap now. I don't pay attention to that shit.
Yeah, but it was a used part, and in today's money, that's $185.
Well, yeah, it's totally insane. Like, I don't know why he'd want to put that. I mean, he's basically building an old junker anyway. I don't even think he hasn't even got it running yet, does he? From what I remember, like
no, but he traded his distributor. He traded his distributor cap for it.
Yeah, that's just dumb. I mean, he should just get a really cheap, crappy horn for his crappy car, because his car ain't no effing Rolls Royce. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. But anyhow, he comes to talk to what's her face again? Hillary. So John comes to talk to Hillary. He wants to get some more questions asked about the government there. He wants to do an interview there. And they said they'll go get her there. They're talking. And they meet there. And, she's conveniently unavailable. Or she's not taking visitors at this time. So John Boy's like, well, just have her call me. Just have her call me. And here we had another. You can hear the gunshots and all that stuff there as they hold it down to her. They hear Grandpa's coming, encouraging him. He wants a ride, and they talk, blah blah blah. Not saying.
Now, this is the indoor wood shop, which I can't remember when we last saw this. Have we ever seen this set up before? I don't remember it.
Yes, we've seen this many times. This is the new wood shop that they built, and then we've seen it a couple of times, but there's a lot of times they still use the old mill for I think if they want the outdoor lighting or something, or they want the camera.
Well, it seems most episodes it's the outdoor woodshed that we see them working in. You know, like when they were doing those fence posts or whatever a while back.
The outdoor shop is for like defense posts, the railroad ties, and the larger items like that. The indoor stuff is for the more detailed work, like when Grandpa is doing the bench and the chairs.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of really like this this set. This is really quite a thoroughly well done set. Like, man, that must have taken a little bit of effort to set all this crap up.
Yeah.
You know.
And Jason's cutting the boards, but he didn't even. He must have either he pre-marked it, but even then he just plops them on and cuts, plops them on and cuts. Like he doesn't even measure it unless there's something we're not seeing that's lining it up for him.
Well, could he have a side panel on the left end that we're not seeing? Because I know, like some saws, you can set a side panel to put the board neck up to it, and you can get the same cut every time.
Yeah, I'm just nitpicking. I'm just being a nitpicking asshole. That's all.
That's a cool saw, though. That's a really cool saw.
Yeah.
That's like, wow, nice saw.
Well, for a saw like that, there'd be a measurement marker on the front of the table. So he just looks at the lineup, and the far end gets to whatever 12 inches or whatever he's cutting, and then he just cuts.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of setup for sure.
Yeah, and I really like the scene here where John goes to ask him if he for sure wants to do this. He goes, yeah, I do. Then go do it. Fuck your mother. Fuck what your mother says. Oh, I might be paraphrasing a little bit, but is that not what John said?
You need to reword that one.
Is that not pretty much what John said? Said if you really want to do it, go do it. Fuck what your mother thinks. Is that
not a whole different episode of the Waltons?
Yeah, but did he not pretty much say that? Fuck what your mother thinks. Go do it.
Oh God.
I might be paraphrasing just a little bit, but that's just I got out of the conversation.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. That here, John Boy is trying to get all this information on her husband, the Von Kleist there, and he's bitching out. Oh, damn it. Where were we?
Yeah, a little further. A little further. Back a bit.
Yeah, right here. He's bitching how hard it is to run a newspaper without a phone, but X is accusing time. And here, this gal is supposed to be given an informal thing on the current going on in Germany's there that fucking Corbett just says that they're hosting. Like, of course they're hosting it because Corbett, if there's something going on, she wants to be the one leading the whole thing here. And John
of course, she's the president of the Busybodies Club. Literally. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the Tackling Hens Club. But anyhow, she's talking about the culture and the music in there. She made a comment about Oktoberfest and how someone asked her how they feel about classical music. And here I call bullshit where they said that Germans love classical music more than I can't remember the first part. The sauerkraut beer. Yeah, right. The Germans love classical music more than beer. I call bullshit.
Well, it is. I'd say that's true. Classical music, beer, bratwurst are the things they love the most besides aggressive expansion.
Yeah. Well, you know, they do need breathing room. The fatherland, the Germans need more breathing room for the fatherland. Or what they call, or what did they? It wasn't breathing room. What did they call it? They needed to expand. Like that's not the breathing room. Wasn't the term? They had a specific term for it. I can't remember.
You make
I
them sound
forget
like
offhand.
you make them sound like Klingons. You realize that?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
no,
are
Which
Klingons just without the odd.
which could be what Trek actually modeled. When you think about it, that could be what they modeled the Klingons on in a way.
Well, where's the Klingons based? I thought the Klingons were based on the Soviets there.
Yes.
Well, they were in Star Trek 6 for sure.
The Klingons were originally Soviets. The Romulans were the People's Republic.
I still think there was a lot of the Yahtzee instinct in the Klingons, though, because remember they had to expand the empire constantly. I think they've said that a couple of times during the show in the movies.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
But here, John Boy asked her a question there. She goes, I am not the best person to answer that question, even though her father was a diplomat and her husband's a statesman and her all this, her family's all kinds of things there, blah, blah, blah. Then he goes and presses her, and damn it. He goes and presses her for more information. She just refuses to answer there, and she storms out. Corbett starts crying how John Boy ruined the fucking party and shit.
For once, Corbett isn't the bad guy.
Yeah, and her mother says, "John, that was awfully rude of you." Blah 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 blah. She's pissed. Corbett's crying and all that, and John Boy's like, "Yeah, out of line. I'll go invite him to dinner." They'll invite him to dinner specifically on Thursday. I wonder all the nights that she could have days of the week that she could invite him over for an apology dinner. She specifically picked Thursday. Now I wonder what could be going on a Thursday that she had to pick that day. It could be a Friday or a Saturday. It specifically had to be Thursday. I'll give you a hint.
National
It's
Guard
Jason's. Yep, right there. Dad. She's trying to talk. Jason. She wants to make sure Jason's going there instead of at the drill. So blah 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 blah. Then he wants to apologize. She goes, no, Paul. She says, "God damn it."
This is jumping all over the place tonight.
No apology. No, I accidentally click it up here because the thing's here. And so they accept the dinner for Thursday night there. But she wants Jason there specifically to play such lovely music. She never heard the compensation like Jason's played it.
Oh boy.
So that's all said. So John comes in. He has to do. I don't know what John was doing in town here. He was picking something up or dropping something off. I can't remember what it is. Give him a minute. And this was the dumbest thing. This was like the most retarded thing I've ever seen here. Where he's just sitting there honking his horn. He's just sitting there honking his horn and walking there, and everybody decides to start following him. Even people climb out of the cars to go follow him to the junkyard.
It was. I kept thinking about this stupid B plot with the fucking honking horn, and this scene really puts it over the top of stupid. I mean, it really does. It's like, oh man, I had to groan when I watched this crap. It's like, come on.
He's
People
an ad
jumping
man.
out of their cars. Wow.
Yeah,
it isn't too far. He was an ad man, essentially an ad man. He just didn't have the sign at the time. But people would go around honking horns and and try to sell stuff and march people into stores. That was a common practice.
Okay, but I love this scene right here.
Jason, this is a very special dinner.
I'd rather be here, but there's nothing else I can do.
You have some other commitment.
She already knows what other fucking commitment he has.
She doesn't know by now. She'll never figure it out.
The guard?
It's our drill night. Mama, there's going to be so many people here, I'll never even be missed.
That's not true. John Boy said Hillary expressly asked for you. She was looking forward to hearing you play.
I can't miss the drill. Mama, suppose I make an appearance and I play the piano and then go on to my drill.
The best you can do will just have to be satisfied.
That there, we've heard this voice out of Olivia before, and I kind of love it. It's her "fuck you" voice, but I'm not gonna stop you. But fuck you.
PvP, we got something for you.
Oh, people get out of their cars to follow PvP because he knows where the eggnog is at. Not at this time of year because there is no eggnog. But thanks, Lemon.
Yeah, hey Scurvy, how's it going? Lebensraum? I'm not sure what that means.
Lebensraum, isn't it? German, I'm guessing.
I don't know.
Sounds German.
But anyhow,
I don't fucking know.
that's her. I'm not. But that's Olivia's. Not. I'm not happy. I'm not gonna stop you. But fuck you. That's her. That's the voice she was using with Jason there. Yeah, that tone she said.
Just gonna step away for a couple minutes. Be back quick.
All right. So John Boy here, he finds out that the guy got. Let's see. I'm just gonna read it from the thing. Yeah, let's see. Ernst von Kleist was at one time co-publisher of the very liberal, influential Frankfurter Tagblatt. Since the Nazis come to power, von Kleist was either sold out or forced out of the publishing business. Why was he forced out of the business? Well, he probably wouldn't print the party line. Now, I thought that was kind of an odd line. He said that it's a very liberal thing there. I wonder if that's nowadays. They definitely have that in nowadays, like to make the right look stand out there, to make it look like.
Well, until the 80s, people knew what the National Socialist Party actually was. It wasn't until Reagan came along until magically the Nazi Party was right wing.
Yeah. So, let's see. He has held a number of important diplomatic positions under the German Republic, and they're asking if that was before Hitler. He is still in the diplomatic service, but with a little rank or prestige. At the present, he holds a minor post in the German embassy in Vienna. Vienna is Austria, but they made a comment that at the end of the episode that Vienna has fallen there, but I thought it was already under German control.
Essentially, it was under German control for most of Hitler's reign.
Yeah, but why
didn't become official until later?
Okay, because I was gonna say they said Vienna had fallen at the end of the episode. So, anyhow, there you go. They're all dressed up in their suits in the play, and then we get this here. Now here's where we start get the clue. They start piecing stuff together. Like she sees Jason in that uniform, and I think in that uniform is vaguely familiar with with some of the German uniforms there, making it hard to distinguish between the two because you don't see the flag or nothing on it. And there's a lot of uniforms that are essentially look very similar.
This episode does not take place in 1939. It might be early 38.
Yeah, it's got to be 38 or something because Hitler was already coming into power long before the war actually began. So I would agree with Germ. 38 makes more sense, actually.
And the Germans didn't take over Austria until March of 38. So we are before that, I'd say at least by a couple of months. So this is probably fall of 37.
That would make more sense.
37 was. They already said they've already talked about him taking Austria.
They didn't take Austria until early spring of 38, though.
Yeah, you better look up the historical history of the situation, because I haven't thought about it in so long. I'm totally rusty on the topic, but Hitler didn't move everything at once. He took things bit by bit, and then he kept getting away with it. Then the Western Europeans would just say, okay, go for it. And he'd say, oh, I got away with that. Oh, let me do the next piece of the puzzle and see if I can get away with that one. And he did. And that's why they woke up too late.
That's why what?
That's why they woke up. The Western European powers woke up too late to what his overall objective was eventually. By the way, maybe Germ would be more up on this. Did Hitler's early, disturbances, did they wear like brown uniforms originally, or am I just imagining that?
Yeah, that's why they were called the brown shirts.
Yeah.
That's why they call the brown shirts.
Yeah, those were the political operatives. Not
And
military, not SS.
And they would have been at work around the time this takes place, so our woman would have probably seen some of them in the streets. I'm guessing that's why the brown maybe triggered her.
Well,
we find out what her son was later.
Yeah, let's see. Let's catch up on chat here. Skirby says eggnog jokes are year round, not seasonal. LOL. It's German for a living space. Oh, okay, gotcha. That's what they needed, more living space, is what they claimed. Germans needed more living space. Let's see. And hey, PvP Gorilla Germ in order of eggnog blood levels. You're gonna have to bump Germ up because I don't drink eggnog after I had that eggnog seltzer.
But that's not eggnog.
Cute.
And I don't have blood, so.
But that's not proper eggnog, Gorilla. You got screwed over drinking that shit.
Yeah, well, drink eggnog for me.
Drink a glass of real eggnog, and you'll understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, after you're done throwing up, you'll realize the truth.
Hey, real eggnog is delicious, man.
Yeah. Yes, the Yazidis were a movement out of the left, not right. Yeah, considering they're national socialists. Yeah. So anyhow, she fades there, and I can't remember what this
Out of hand painter to embroidery, but this.
But here they got the news coming on here. Full. I haven't been keeping up with the transcript here.
You can take Lemon's comment off too, because it's blocking the screen there, Gorilla. Thank you.
Oh. All right, so they got the Transatlantic report. They said from a special newsman in the major European centers coming in Vienna. This was Edward Murrow in Vienna. A pall and uncertainty and fear hangs over the once carefree city. Tensions flicker in the atmosphere like heat lightning. A few hours ago, they made another attempt was made. I don't know who the Chancellor Kurt von Schwarzenegger was.
Wasn't that the Austrian? Wasn't that the Austrian Empire that they assassinated eventually? I mean, I forget.
No, that was in World War. That was World War One that they assassinated.
That was World War One. Okay, different guy.
That Archduke Ferdinand in World War One. But I don't know who this Chancellor Kurt von Schlossnig was. The would-be killers escaped in the ensuing confusion, but wasn't satisfied. They wore Nazi swastikas and shouted, "Heil Hitler!" Oh, that's gonna get clipped out of context. I can tell you that. As they fired, armed gangs were in the street. Ed Reich, Ed Buck, and Führer.
You better not clip that one, Corolla.
No, someone's gonna clip that. I can already tell you. Someone's already gonna clip that on me. Someone's already gonna clip that on me.
Lordy.
Yeah, they're asking how Curl. Curl says she's in shock. He doesn't know what to do with her. So what you do is they got these special wraps that so that you can hug yourself. They should just put her in one of those and just throw her in the lake.
By the way, Edward R. Murrow was a real reporter, and he was actually a very popular, a pretty prestigious reporter, if I remember correctly, too.
This is not for you. This is for
Yeah.
This is for the good.
Let's see. Germ has.
Even I remember that name. I'm not that fucking old.
Yeah, he's always been a vampire since then. And roughly what years of Waltons in this season? Well, the AI told me it was 39, but Germ thinks it's 38. Because season 7 takes place in 41. Because at season episode 10 is December 7th, 1941.
Yeah, well, I didn't think we were skipping that fast forward. Like that seemed a bit too quickly.
Yeah. So Jason comes home from drills, and she told him to get the fuck out of the uniform there.
Get him. Get over here.
And I kind of like the music as she's looking at all her boys, and she has that mother's look in her face. Like, she knows what's gonna happen. Like, this ain't no foreshadowing. This is just they smack you around. They keep beating you over the head over your head, and it's not subtle foreshadowing. It's just they keep beating you over the head with it. Foreshadowing.
Well, she's remembering what happened to Brother Ben, right?
Yeah.
And she sees it looming on the horizon again.
Yeah, and she knows her boys will go.
They've all been raised to be good citizens of their country, so of course they'll go.
Everywhere. How can we protect ourselves?
You raised them that way, Olivia.
Wait.
Try to get some sleep.
An epidemic, like our president says. A disease that's spreading everywhere. How can we protect our sons?
They'll
You
manage.
really can't.
They're survivors from a long line of survivors.
When you first put on your uniform and went off to war and I was carrying your baby, I used to pray it'd be a girl. That they all would march off and kill and be killed.
Yeah.
I know this is a serious
Yeah,
scene,
but I
it
thought
still
World
made
War
me
One was
laugh.
the war to end all wars.
Oh, well, yes, of course
But
it
you
was.
know, I thought World War
Yeah,
One was
but
the
no one
war to
believes
end all
that.
wars.
Yeah, well, what's going to happen in the Middle East about 10 days from now? I have been
you mean
around for a
tomorrow?
long time, and I have not seen too many years without a war going on somewhere.
Well, literally no
Well-
one alive has seen a year without war.
Yeah, but here's
The human race has been at war for the last 5,000 years.
Probably even the cavemen were clubbing each other over the head back in the caves, right?
Exactly.
Jerm, did you just say every human hasn't seen a day there was a war?
There hasn't been a day in the history of civilization there hasn't been some type of war.
Jerm basically said anybody alive has seen a war. Yeah.
I'm gonna I, I'm gonna call BS on that, Jeremy. I'm gonna be a nitpicking asshole because
Ooh.
April 11th, 1954 is the most boring day in history because there was absolutely no news going on, no major incidents, no wars to report on, no nothing. There's absolutely no news going on at all. There also there's one day, Jerm, that there's no war. I'm calling you out on that.
Well, there was one day the newspapers didn't want to talk about it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna call me LDG on that one.
Please, let's not call LGB. I had enough of him last night.
But 1954, there was already a conflict in Vietnam.
I thought that was the 60s.
The French were fighting since, well, Korea was going on.
I think you're thinking before America, perhaps, Gorilla, but the French were in there stirring the shit pot up before you guys got there.
Oh, so we had to go clean up fucking France's mess. Oh, go fucking.
I believe the French were in Vietnam pissing people off. Yeah.
Yeah, go figure. We have to go clean up fucking France's mess. Oh, whoops! I didn't want to do that.
Hey, we got Quebec here, and man, they almost separated. And God, I wish they had. Would have saved the West billions of dollars in transfer payments every year.
And what would our lives be without them?
I don't know. I just don't know. Seems like we're just getting through a depression and we look back over our shoulder and something worse is coming along.
That's life,
You know, we don't get very many very good, serious scenes. We don't get very many great serious scenes with John and Olivia.
That was a good scene.
So here, Jim Bob's being an annoying little fucking asshole here, and he talked about how he got a new job there, and the guy's paying him to go honk the horn because because people followed him and bought like $12 worth of stuff.
Yeah, so if he's given 10%, that means he made $1.20 that day.
Yeah, so she don't blame him. She hates what's going on, and she just hates the idea of war coming on. It's a very good scene. I'm not going to play it. I've played a little too much already. And here Jason comes and he starts playing music, and here this wakes her out of her shock and all that. And she hears the gunfire. This is when she finally opens up to John Boy talking about all the stuff going on in Germany and how her son was part of this youth movement and all that stuff there. So yeah, how she's part of and we find out that her son was part of what they called Hitler's youth there, and they were tasked with going and destroying a Jewish newspaper there, and her son didn't feel it was right, and he tried to protect the 3 Jewish people there, and the Hitler's youth people beat him to death, but they gave him a hero's death. Then they were going to blame it on the Jews there, and someone actually came and told her the truth. They gave him a state's funeral and everything, and someone actually told her the truth. What happened there? Then we go to our epilogue. Hillary did return to Europe. Letters were exchanged, and then Vienna fell. Our letters came back stamped, addressed unknown. Hillary and her husband and the others who stood against the Nazis couldn't stem the tide. Other Americans did go to Europe, to Africa, to Asia, and found the same courage that carried Hillary Baldwin von Kleist out of the sanctuary of Waltons Mountain back to the heart of battle. So that's pretty much that there. And for our episode notes and interesting facts, the guest actress Jean Marsh starred and co-produced the 1970s British series Upstairs Downstairs.
From 1971 to 75. So she must have done this episode just after Downstairs ended, I'm guessing.
Well, this was 77. It's the air date.
Yeah, Upstairs Downstairs was a big hit from 71 to 75. So, okay, 2 years after she ended that show. Yeah.
Yeah, and this was written by John McGreevy and directed by Walter Aspin.
I remember the writer. I'm familiar with the writer, not the director, but I thought it was a good episode overall.
Yeah. Okay, it is 1938 because our next one our prologue is in the spring of 1938. So you were right,
makes
Jeremy.
more sense.
Jeremy, you were right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense since Austria hasn't fallen yet.
Or Vienna fell right at the end there.
You know, the sad thing is there were a lot of Germans that realized what was happening because, Germany did have a cultural history of, not being a terrible dictatorship before Mustache Man took over. They did have some traditions that were quite, pretty good for Europeans. And, there were a number of Germans that totally saw through the bullshit. And they tried to publish against it in the papers. They tried to probably even did marches in the streets. And then, of course, we all know what happened to those poor folks historically. They didn't have a hope in hell. And I imagine that's what happened to Jean Marsh's character when she went back. Bad decision. I imagine that's why they got the letters back, address unknown, because I wouldn't be surprised if her and her hubby were long gone at that point. I'll put it mildly.
Well, let's just say their address was in Auschwitz.
Probably. Yeah, exactly, Jim.
So we'll start with you, PP. Your final thoughts and rating?
I like it a lot. I thought this is an important episode because let's face it, most TV is just, mind fodder, turn your brain off and watch some crap for an hour. You don't have to even think. This one is a good episode that wants you to think. What back, even in the 60s, 70s TV is my favorite era because there were a lot of shows that were actually trying to talk about important things back then. And this is one of the episodes that stood out for me. Basically, solid episode. The only crap that pissed me off was the stupid, the Rolls Royce horn crap, which I thought was really, that was a very weak B story, which I kind of think it was the B story of this one. But overall, I liked it a lot. I'm sure that there's better episodes. Probably be ones that'll rate higher, but damn, this was pretty solid. Story-wise, I'm going to give this one an A.
Alrighty. Germ?
Well, I wasn't really impressed with the actress. Very dry, very dull. That you get that from Brits a lot. The B story with the horn was nothing but annoying. John Boy was a jackass more than anything else in this episode, so that really didn't fit too well. All in all, I give it a C+.
Ouch.
Alrighty. Well, as for me, looking at this episode here, it kind of makes me look at what's going on today especially with modern communication, and how we can kind of see the patterns of history where showing up again, and how we know stuff's coming are over the horizon there. Even we can see it. This kind of reflects there, I really did like the story. I didn't mind the actress, the British actress, and all that. Was she a little dry? Yeah, but still good. We had some very, very good scenes between Olivia and John there, and well, John was golden in this episode. I think there. I'll give this an A minus, but the only reason it's getting ranked that low was because of that fucking horn. Yeah, they seriously only needed one scene. Go, hey guys, I got a new part for my car. It's from a Rolls Royce. Honk honk. Cool. That's all we fucking needed. That they could have expanded out on the other thing there. And I'm liking the other. We're planting the seeds of what's going on in Europe, leading us up to season 7 there. So overall, I'm giving it an A minus.
Yeah, I'd say the horn is one thing we totally agree on. The horn was garbage, basically.
Yeah.
By the way, I get your point. It's like the old saying: those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And I see that happening in the world right now. There's a lot of that happening in the world right now. I mean, look at the anti-Semitism everywhere around the globe. There's a lot of it now. I haven't never seen it this high in my lifetime. It's very very disturbing, actually.
It does tend to follow a certain group of people when they move in.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I haven't seen it this emboldened in a long time. And looking at a lot of this stuff, just before the war, before Germany went down the hole, I'm thinking a lot about my country because I think we're headed in that direction right now. I'm not going to get overly political on this stream about that, but it reminded me a lot of what's going on up here, unfortunately. So yeah, that's one reason I probably gave it a high rating. Other than it's just a damn good episode.
Yeah. And
Jean Marsh, I think it was more Jean Marsh's character was dry than the actress herself, because her character didn't have a hell of a lot. There wasn't a lot in the script for her to work with, really, when you think about it.
Well, they're trying to do flashbacks even without the flashbacks is the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Cynthia wants to remind us he has a stream going on after this, so let's plug it. Let's just start plugging our channels there. You start with your PvP. What you got going on?
Not much. Just actually doing some house cleaning. Got a little bit done today. I'm going to do some more tonight. And nothing much going on my channel. I haven't put up any videos lately, so yeah, nothing too exciting to report, actually.
Alrighty. Jerm, what do you got going on?
Well, after this, I'll be with this Dan. We're closing out the first season of Rise of the Shield Hero. Tomorrow, we'll have Babel 1 for the Saving Star Trek pre-show. And on Monday, we'll have Rebirth of Mothra 3 if I'm able to.
Alrighty. As for me, Sunday, we're watching The Beekeeper. Then on Tuesday, will be a cigar lounge. And Thursday will be the last cigar lounge before we go through our rebranding. And then our next Waltons episode's The Go-Getter, which sounds to me like it's going to be a blah episode.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So, yeah, so with that, everyone have a good night, and just remember.
Look, here's the thing. Fine. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.